for a lot of people, naively, I think when they think about like getting into entrepreneurship or startup, they get so married to not only their first idea, but their first company that if that were to go south, I think most people would probably be like, oh, maybe it's not for me. And so I want to hear about the sort of story of, hey, this maybe didn't work out, and how you move on from that and say, no, like I actually want to go build again.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was, I mean, so my mom was a big inspiration for our family. My mom did her PhD and she was in school until I was 9. So I actually grew up on UC San Diego's campus where I would just kind of like wander to the bookstore and like eat some Funyuns and whatnot. And so my siblings both have PhDs, I think following my mom's footsteps. I also was applying to PhD programs and I was working in this research lab, and Workday my senior year of college comes and recruits me on campus. They flew me to the Bay. I get sent back to SFO in like what was like a limo with like champagne bottle. And I get back to UCSB and I think like, man, they, like my professor would never, the research that I was doing. So I ended up just like not doing the PhD, even I had just applied, and I just went into industry. And the second that happened, I started getting these like anxiety attacks because I think my idea of what I wanted from the world completely shattered. Right. And now I'm just like in SF with no sense of plan or anything. And while I'm at Workday with these anxiety attacks, Workday has their own programming language. And so I built a dev tool I had an idea that would make the programming language better. And so I just built it and released it to some folks at the company. And I have no idea about entrepreneurship. I don't know what Y Combinator is. And it was really well received. The senior VP emails it to every developer at the company and says like, hey, go download Nader's tool. And that felt really good. And then it was just like, oh, wait, we can just do this, but on a larger stage. Like it could be to more than just Workday developers. And so then I'm working with Alec on just some other projects, and I was getting a beer with a bar owner, and he's venting that he has 1,000 clicks on his Google ads, but no one's in this bar other than me and Alec. And so we realize digital ads make a lot of sense for digital businesses. If you click on an Amazon banner ad, you've entered Amazon storefront and you can make a purchase. But if you click on an ad for like a local bar, what value did that drive them? Like nothing. So we thought, how do we build a digital ad that brings physical value to a physical business? And it was like really late one night, Alec finds this hack in the Uber app where we could change your Uber's destination. And so we made these ads that we essentially bought a bunch of tablets from China, and it was like DHgate was the website. They're super cheap tablets, and we mounted them in Ubers and Lyfts, and this is in 2018. And if you tapped on the ad, we would reroute your Uber to go to that bar. And so you're going out with friends for drinks. You see buy one, get one free margaritas. You tap the screen, we'll take you there. The driver gets a tip. The bar owner knows his ad worked. You get a free drink. Everyone wins. And so we completely bootstrapped. I quit my job, I quit my job actually before, like essentially almost like the same day the tablets came in. And we just bootstrapped it. And then, your dad, we had to raise like a small, like friends and family round. Your dad was part of that. And then, we got into Y Combinator, and that was great. We got to like $250,000 revenue, and the week of our demo day, we were the winner 20 batch for Y Combinator, which is right when the pandemic was happening. We were in San Francisco, which is where the shelter in place was like the strictest and also the first. And so the week of our demo day, our fleet of 400 cars went to 7. And like literally, like, we're going to pitch to investors, and it's just all collapsing. And so, yeah, it was a wild ride. I think as a founder, you kind of often have this feeling of like, oh, what would I do when I fail? And I guess it's nice to have that answered. Like, oh yeah, you're just gonna kind of do it again. And I think it pays off to just be very lighthearted about things. Like, give everything your all, and you end up having more energy to keep going if you do.